Kunsi Pranam.
Pranam Chaitali. All right, today is 10th of August 2024, and today is our weekly session number 213, and it is 6:10 p.m. now in India, and in Abu Dhabi, and it should be 7:40. Now it should be 7:41 in India. So today's topic of discussion is time, lifetimes, and beyond time. So basically, we will explore something related with time, and we will revisit and replenish our understanding about time. What is its implication in the practical level, and the dimensional level, and the spiritual level. So, and so we'll start with our, in general, that what is the purpose of time? Purpose of, originally when the universe was created, so, and that we explained in, earlier sessions, that the purpose of the soul's journey and all those things. We'll touch upon that. It is not today's topic, but it is important why the time was, from where the time was created. So original purpose of all types of life forms in this universe is just to experience, have a different types of experience. Because Creator, the one, the universal consciousness, that it wants to experience itself in infinite ways. And the way it experiences itself in infinite ways, it creates a part of itself in almost infinite numbers, and it has been given its different souls, that those are individual soul consciousness, and they have been given paths to experience itself. So, and their individual paths are almost infinite, means many lifetimes and different types, starting from the mineral. In planet Earth, it is a mineral, then plant, and then animal, and then human being. Human, then of course, then later on it has to be self-aware, the human, and then when the self-awakening awareness develops, then the spiritually awakened, that is after that the exit goes back to the merge with the Creator, that is moksha. All this. So in this purpose, the soul's journey to happen, to have a different types of experiences to be happen, and that's where the time has been created by the Creator, so that there is some kind of sequence. It plays one after another, or in each, say, lifetime, there is a sequence of different parts of the same has been separated by time and space. Yeah, space is also created. The physical universe has been created, but to have the play, like a stage, you can say the stage where it is being played, and the timing to have the different events, to segregate different events. So it is created. It was not, originally it was there. It was, the time and space has been created for having that. That is where the physical universe comes into the picture, and all those things are happening in this under this time. So that's why the time has been mentioned was one of the powerful thing, which is need that to play the whole thing. Play means drama. Play also means game. So why the whole thing was needed by the Creator? There is no need as such. It was not, forced to create something like that. All this physical universe is created as a part of the game, because it wishes to experience itself in a infinite ways. That's why in the Vedic terminology, that is called Leela. Leela means game, like it's a broader game. There is no need. It is not forced to. So anyway, so it is, you can say in the, to play the game, you need this time and space has been created so that the events can take place. That is the original purpose of time. So what is the difference between the creator and created, or the soul or incarnated the being? The difference between when it takes that this form, the incarnation, is come under influence of time. Overall, it comes influence of Maya, means that is a different thing, but also it is a come under time, and it has been given some kind of timeline or some path, which is soul's plan, or you can say soul's journey. Also, it has, each one has been given some kind of limited time where it will have its, all these events will happen. That's what the incarnation is. Each incarnation have its limited time. Like everyone has a life. Means there is expiry of each one of them. So that's why when we take, we born under any body, or in earlier lifetimes, maybe as a mineral or any plant or animal, all of them, they have a limited time. So maybe we're humans, say maybe around 100 years or 80 years, or that is our lifetime. And but some of the animal, it is less. I mean, insect maybe for a few days. Maybe the plants also, the similar one. Plants can be sometimes, maybe it will go higher than that, and before that, higher than that, maybe 100, 200. Some of the plants may be seasonal, like 1 year. Also, there are in the mineral, sometimes in a mineral form, stone or metal, it can be millions of years in one form. That is all, but time, actual times are different, but that expire is, that is there for all these forms, which is a soul has incarnated into this planet Earth. So this is one of the limitations. Once, suppose now let us talk about our human births. When human takes birth, the time is limited. It is already fixed. There is a life. It cannot live unlimitedly. And that is called lifetime. Means there is an expiry. End of it, there is a life. Life has to expire at some place. So life ends, and you can say death or changing, come to another lifetime. So as there are many, that is why it is called lifetimes. Okay, so because there are life happening, different types of lives happenings in the frame of time. So each one of them is kind of having a own lifetime or own expiry, and that is the sequence. How it is being played, that is the sequence. It is under the framework of time, which is being played, and space, of course, the place, physical space, three-dimensional space where it is being played out. So this is the fundamentally, it is the creator has created the time, and whoever has born under this kind of time, the nature has been given, the time always flows, like it is a unidirectional flow of time, what we experience. That's why the event takes place. Like we can say one event before, one event after, or it is present lifetime, previous lifetime, all are referring to the time. So that is what is the past, present, and future. This is a linear flow of time. So time always flows. That is the nature. Nobody can hold the time. Nobody can stop the time. Nobody has the power to do it. So it flows. It is all about that, going with the flow of the time. It always flows in the unidirectional. So it is not in this dimension. We cannot reverse back in time the events. We can have the memory of that. That is a different issue, but we cannot reverse the time. But what is gone, that's why it is called the unidirectional flow of time. That is the characteristics of time. So nobody can stop it, nobody can reverse it. So it will always flows in the unidirection, in one direction. So it is always from the past, then present, then future, and this is the nature. This is how it has been created. Yeah. Okay, so now, so that is the sequence. So now let us understand that well, why the purpose. So I'm just summarizing why the purpose is, so that we can have experience. We can have different experience and different frame of time. Even within the lifetime, you have a, after birth, the childhood stage, teenage, youth, and then middle age, and the later part, the old age, and thing like that. So this is how the time has been differentiated. We all know it. So that is how it is being played out. Now, the time has another. Now let us understand it scientifically. Scientifically, the space has been given 3 dimension: length, width, and breadth. Like that is how the coordinates are. We can place any particular location. We can put it with this coordinate. In the GPS, it is called XYZ coordinates. Like we can exactly define where on the say planet Earth, where the things will be as per the coordinate. In the space also, there is some kind of these coordinates are there where we can exactly tell the location of that any particular thing, or a point, or our destination, or whatever it is. That is a particular coordinate is there, which is 3-dimensional. So 3-dimensional means that, as I said, length, width, and breadth, or XYZ, these 3 coordinates need to be defined to be there. All of us who have studied that, in our school days, the mathematics, or we know the graphs, XY graphs, we know that we can draw any from location A to B. If you draw a line, the straight line, so that is the distance, and it can travel from one point to another. So graph is the graph on the paper is 2-dimensional, but it can be 3-dimensional also, equally understandable. If you put XYZ coordinate 3 axis, then it could be 3-dimensional point. Yeah. Just for the sake of understanding, let us take only the graph paper. Some box type of thing used to come that you can count each one. Box is 1 count. So if it is a 10, so it will go 10 counts. And then there's 20 of they go to 20 counts of small boxes. We call it graph paper. We used to use in the school. So think of that. And just for the understanding purposes. So, and when we draw any line on this graph paper, we can represent it with the equation. Like y is equal to 2x plus 3, or this kind of thing. So there is some equation, and same thing happens in 3-dimensional. Even XYZ, 3 things comes into the picture. So, but it can be written as an equation. And if you solve that equation, like there are 2 lines, say one line is this way, another line is this way. So if you solve it, you will get the intersection point where exactly 2 lines meet. That coordinate you will get if you solve the 2 equations. So that is the intersection point. Okay, that is also can be given as a coordinate. Now, just for understanding purposes, I was thinking, how can time become the 4th dimension? So just to understand that, I'm just coming to this graph paper example. Suppose you have been given equation of one particular line. You have drawn the line in a pencil. And you have the equation. Suppose the equation is, say, y is equal to 2x plus 4, or 2x plus 5. And another equation, so another line. So maybe you have written y is equal to, say, minus x, or minus x plus 2. Say that is the thing, but it is a different type of gradient. So suppose you have written the equation and draw the graph in the graph paper. Just I was telling you in the school exercise, maybe in the say class 10 or something, you've drawn the graph. And then so in the rubber, it's drawn by the pencil. In the rubber, you have taken it out. Then the another equation, you just that y is equal to minus x plus that 2. You draw another graph on the paper, and then again you solve these two equations. Then you will get some x value and y value, that is the interaction point. This interaction point is, as I mentioned a little earlier, it is the cross section where they met. It crossed each other. But on the graph paper, so there is some value. There is x coordinate value, y coordinate value into that equation solving. But on the piece of paper where you have drawn the graph, the second line, it actually didn't cross the first line. No, first line you have drawn, then you erased it with a eraser, then draw another line. So that line is there, but previous line is not there. You erased it. But when you solve that equation, there is a x value, y value. That is, it is showing that it's intersecting at that particular point. So when you do the mathematical calculation, it will give you intersection. But when you actually draw, it is not intersecting on the graph paper. What makes that difference? The difference is the time. Because these two graphs you didn't draw in the same time frame. You draw the first one, then you erased it, and in another time frame you draw another graph, another line from the second equation. So that is there on that graph paper, but actually physically they didn't meet. Because of what is the difference? Difference is the time. If you draw the same time frame, then it will actually, you can see them crossing on the graph paper. So from that experiment, what I just explained, we understand that other than x, y, z, there is another coordinate or another axis, that is the time. So it has to be in the same time to be actually intersecting it. So it should be exactly the space, three-dimensional space, and the fourth dimension time. If they match, only then these two things will meet physically. Otherwise, they will not, because they will be in the different different time scales, different part of the time. It will be there. So this is the understanding of the fourth. It is as a fourth dimension, as a time. Yeah. So we also need to have, other than the physical space in the reality, if something to happen together, some event, then their timeline also need to be matched. They should have the same time, timing wise also it has to be the same place is space, but exactly in the same timing this has to occur. So that's why it is a fourth dimension. That is a dimensional understanding of time. So why it is a fourth dimension. Okay, now is the lifetime incarnation soul's path. So now let us, go back to our original discussion of why we, come here on the planet Earth, just to experience. So suppose in your life path, it has been given, your soul's path is there. You have to have that some kind of interaction, meeting with another person. So the two souls are meeting on the planet Earth someplace on the planet Earth. So time-wise, their time has to match. Otherwise, they cannot meet. Same place, both persons should be there. And that's why the interaction will take place. This is what is been built into the soul's plan. So soul plan such a way that in the both individual life path, there is a common, like a cross-section of two lines, I said, it has to meet at the particular time in the particular place. Only then our life path crosses each other. And this particular event has been already planned in the soul level. Before actually manifesting, before incarnation, it is already planned. So both the souls select the same time, same here. Let me use the word clock time. Same clock time they will meet at the particular place so that they can meet. Suppose one place, if they arrive in the different time, then they will not meet. Like those two graphs, what I said, that one is erased, another one came, then meeting will not happen. So there is a time signature on each event that taking place in our life. So that is I'm just giving overall understanding. If there is some interaction has to happen, then both our soul level, we agree to come together in a particular time, then only this interaction will happen. Otherwise, it will never happen. In the different lifetimes, in different time zones, it will not possible to have interaction, and that the exchange, whether it's a communication or it's a relationship, which is a life, it will not happen unless until the time that matches with each other. Yeah, that is how the soul plan works. They have to also fix those times so that they can have that. Because of this particular thing, out of millions of combinations, yeah, in fact, infinite combinations, actual meeting to happen is extremely low possibility, yeah, probability. Yeah. But still it happens because the soul chosen to plan, and that plan enacts when our life starts. So that is why it is called, there is no coincidences in life. It doesn't happen accidentally. These are also planning. You see, out of so many millions, billions, and trillions of possibility, meeting someone needs huge, it cannot be left to the chance. That's why the situation has been created. This is a soul's plan. They come and meet it. So any event is happening in our lifetime is a part of that plan, where we have to bring it to the same point in the whole time frame, so that the meeting takes place and the interaction happens. As we are facing it every day or every time, so we don't see it as unusual. But if you see from the soul's point of view, what are the type of combinations possible, and what are the time limit is also, it's almost infinite. It can happen much earlier in the past or in the future. So then any kind of meeting, any kind of thing has been extremely, it needs a lot of things to coincide together, and it has to be planned. Otherwise, by accident, it is almost impossible to meet with anyone. So that's why in the soul level, they have to plan it, and that plan has been executed where our life has been started. Yeah. So that is the understanding about our lifetime incarnation and soul's plan, how it matches. So any event happening in our life, it is a part of our soul's plan. So because it brings all the characters together, in bring those kind of situations together with this time frame, and that happens, and then it goes into that one. Okay, now in the most powerful thing about that is the understanding of now moment. Okay, because timeline is full of millions of moments into the timeline. That line forms like any line. If you see the geometrically, as earlier I was giving example that geometry, any line you draw, it can have thousands of points which makes a line. The trajectory, where that flows, and that is why it can be given as an equation. So same thing with our lifetime, it happens, but when we experience it, just I'm giving for understanding purposes, understand that any experience can happen only in the present moment, now moment. You cannot have experience in the past, or you cannot realize that experience, in the future. It's not possible. Whenever some experience has to happen, or as I mentioned about the interaction has to happen, or any other type of events has to happen, we have to that has to happen in the present moment only. And from this higher level, so present moment or now moment is the only truth. Rest of the things are called, this is the versions. Version means it is your mind projection. What you call it is your past. It is basically what you are referring to, the events which were there in your memory as a past. And in your future means some of the event you are predicting is going to happen. That is, you call it a future. Okay. It actually didn't happen. It's not true. But it is only in your mind. You have some area which some events, planning, expecting, and thing that you call future. So both the past and the future, these are these are non-real into that, into strict sense of the term. Only truth is the present moment. Rest of the things in your mind, it is a projection of your mind. It is not the truth. Some people may argue, but I have done that kind of experience. Suppose yesterday I went to a sea beach. So that is the truth. Correct. You went to the sea beach, but that now moment, it was the truth that time. Now it is your memory, right? You can only think about that visit, but you had yesterday. Or future, you are going to catch a flight to, suppose you are going somewhere, you have to get a flight at a certain amount of time. Yeah. That going to the flight is in your mind now. It didn't happen. And you never know it happens or not. It is just an event in your future you are thinking to happen. It is not a reality. If you actually get into the flight, then that is in that present moment it will happen. It will not happening now. You are now at this moment, it is only in your memory. So you just contemplate on it, because there is a big power is involved into this understanding of time. I have explained you how time works, etc. But from the truth point of view, so now moment is the only truth you have. On this moment only you have. Rest of the things your mind projections. How it can be proven? By any method. If we erase that the past, so I mean erased your memory, not past, erased your memory, you will have no past. When we go to the, say, coma or deep sleep, we don't remember anything. Okay, those things didn't happen. And so in that sense, the time stops there, because there is nothing there. Our experience-wise, the time has stopped when you were in a coma or deep sleep or something like that. Yeah. So even in the normal sleep also, even though you are dreaming, the dream has some kind of sequence, but there also you lose the sense of the external time, right? That time your so-called that memory, the active memory, that doesn't work that time. So in that time it is, when during the sleep also it is gone. So as it can, based on your memory, it can come and go. So that is not the truth. It is only you have some kind of access to some information which is called memory. You're in the brain. So that is what you are getting into. If you cut the thing or somebody, they lose the memory, then everything gone. So in that case, their past has gone, erased. So in just I'm trying to make this point, is only the truth is the present moment. And this present moment, if that it need to happen. Yeah. So this present, so if this is understood that it is past or this is future, those are non-real. Those are illusions. Why illusion? Because those are mind created, mind projected thing. That is why for the same events, maybe the two people involved into the some event, both of their past are different, because they processed it differently. So, and that's why it is their individual memory which is taken into account, not the truth and what happened. What happened may be something else, and whatever the perceived, that is the kind of thing they can take it up forward. I normally give that some example about one family. There are 5 brothers. Suppose some US someplace, and the younger brother has become lost his self-confidence. He is not successful in his life, and he cannot take any decision. All the time he is in some psychological panic or something like that. So he was not successful in his life and cannot Even if take up any job, he cannot stay for a long and all those. So the psychiatrist, the doctor, psychologist, and whatever, the mental doctor, they have studied and say in the childhood he has got some shock, and that's why his whole life has been spoiled. And he then studied it in detail. Then come to know in the childhood, he faced some. His father was alcoholic and used to come home and beat up the children. And there were 5 brothers, and he was the youngest one. So looking at that, he's terrified, and that childhood memory has, ruined his life. Actually, he cannot have any. All the time, he's a panicky, shaky, and fearful. Just for the study purposes, what kind of, this violence can happen so that the child can get traumatized. So he has done his research and find out the brother. He went to he's the youngest, went to the eldest brother, who is maybe 15 years older than him, and he got the most of the beating, his father. So if in another state, somewhere in another state in USA, he was they try to find out somewhere he is having farmhouse. He's a farmer. If somehow find out and go and have a discussion just to ask for a meeting, and in the meeting that fellow came, his eldest brother, and he was asking, I'm the psychiatrist of your brother. And he said, yeah, I come to know he is not doing well and he is having some issues, mental stability and things like that. Then this psychiatrist is asking, but we found out it has happened because of some traumatic event in the childhood, and your father is very abusive and, used to beat up every day, and you get the maximum thrashing. And that's why I came to you to understand what kind of family situation it was that could have happened. So can you explain? So to the surprise of this doctor, the eldest brother, because he got maximum beating for looking at that youngest brother has been terrified and he's losing his life and rationality and cannot lead a common life. His elder brother said, no, there is no such thing. Yeah, every father comes and beat up their child if you don't do right thing. And so that's not a big deal. I don't remember anything happened that it is extraordinary or so valuable. Then the doctor got very much surprised. He said, then you don't remember such thing happens? No. Maybe sometimes, yes, sometimes it's okay. But there's nothing I can remember which is unusual. What's the big deal? Father will definitely, what is called, try to teach the thing and have to control. And so the order has to be there in the family. So what's the big deal? If the father beat up the son, what is the big deal in with this? So then the doctor realized that to whom actually they faces the experience and getting beat up, he didn't even remember. And the person who saw it, not even, he didn't get beat up, but he saw that thing, his life is spoiled. So basically, we're trying to conclude here, it all about our individual experiences, how we take it. It is not that what happened that makes the difference. How we take it, that has happened. Here in this case, who has actually faced it physically, he doesn't even remember. Okay, it's not important. It's not a big deal. Forget about affecting his life. Nothing happened. But who saw it, he got terrified and it happened and all those things. So basically everything, it is in your memory. Your memory controls you. It is not the event that controls you. You have that power to take it, or you can power to disconnect from it, and that gives you kind of disassociate yourself from the event. The suffering in life, whatever we call suffering, means some past memory has been repeated again and again and again in our brain. That is called suffering. Event can cause pain, but it is only for once. Because when it happened, that present moment only, finish, It's a painful. Suppose some interaction is painful, or you have just fallen, you got hurt, you got an accident, and whatever. It can be an event. Yeah? It's painful. Yeah, external event, painful. But that is not the suffering. Suffering is when you play that memory in your mind again and again and again, then what happens? That particular event, the painful incident, they live on over the period of time. And that the time when actually it didn't happen, but it is just played in the mind, in the memory, that is called suffering period. So spiritual understanding is the painful event, they may not be stopped because that happened as per the soul's plan. As I said, any event takes place because our soul, has agreed with some other event, and to many reasons. It wants to experience it, it has to learn some kind of lesson from it, or many other reasons it can happen. But when we play it in our mind, then we suffer. We suffer only because of the memory of it. So suffering can be minimized by the spiritual tools. Any spiritual master can teach you how to disassociate from these things so that you can experience life to the fullest. You need not to be under influence of all those things, negative things, but it played in your mind. That is suffering. So you may not avoid the painful incident because it has happened as per soul's plan, or whatever the other thing, or maybe because of your karma, something happened. That may not be avoided, but what can be avoided is how much you suffer. Like in the story, you can be the eldest brother and lead your life, normal life. But normal human tendency, we choose to be live like the youngest brother. Even though it didn't happen directly, but you still suffer because we are playing in our mind again and again and again. Yeah? So understand this, because this is the key to get out of our own suffering. Most of them things are our mind creations. Okay, so now we are coming back to the discussion of the now moment. So in now moment, now moment, as I said, it's the only truth, rest of the mind projections or the versions. So the important part of our spiritual journey, this is the understanding that now moment is the only truth. Okay. Whatever your experience of anything, any experience of which is spiritual in nature, or your higher dimensional experiences, I will come into little detail little later on. All those things, to have that experience, spiritual experience, you have to bring your mind to the present moment. You cannot have spiritual experience if your mind is chattering, like either grudging something happened in the past or worrying about the future. It will not possible to have spiritual experience. Those things, when the mind is all the time cooking all those things, judging something happened in the past or worrying about the future, this then mind is chattering. And the chattering mind will not allow you to have anything which is spiritual in nature, or even your soul cannot communicate with you because of this noise. It's called internal noise. Yeah. So how to go into that? Any kind of spiritual experience, you have to stop your thinking mind. And you have to bring your mind to the present moment, now moment, because this is the only truth. And through the now moment, you can have the experience, moment by moment experience of the higher truth, which is not three-dimensional, not external. So in that sense, the now moment is the bridge between these two dimensions, the lower and the higher dimensions. Lower dimension means three-dimensional reality. That is that, my XYZ coordinates, and the fourth is time, what I told you. It is the dimension of the duality, good, bad, like, dislike, and like light, darkness, and all those kind of things. The duality is there, the polarity is there. But in the higher dimension, it is when we go to the higher dimension, we go to the level of the creator. it is created. It is a stage where it is being, the drama has been played. Drama of our life has been played. So it is a created part of it. But if you go to the created stage, that is not this, this is the spiritual dimension, which is unity consciousness. And that is also, we call it a fifth dimension. So fourth, up to fourth, we have already explained. Fifth dimension is a consciousness. This consciousness is beyond time. Time cannot catch that. So if you go to the consciousness level, then time stops, because time has been created for the lower level of experiences. And bridge between these lower dimensions and the higher dimension, that is a present time, the now moment. And that opens up the bridge between the lower dimension and higher dimension. And we use the now moment, we go into, excuse me, we go into this, through the now moment, we can connect to the higher dimension. So now moment is become the bridge, as I just mentioned, bridge between these two dimensions. So to go into any higher level of understanding, higher experiences, spiritual experiences, you have to bring your mind to now moment. Otherwise, it is not possible to have spiritual experiences or even meditational experiences or even communication from your soul, not possible. If you are not in the present moment, now moment. And after coming to the now moment, you have to stop the thinking mind, only then the channel will open. That we practice through meditation to quieten the mind and bringing attention to the present moment. How we bring attention to the present moment? Just following our breathing. It is as simple as that. What breathing does with all this consciousness business, okay? I teach anybody all of you got initiated by me into Kriya. At the time, I explained that you cannot follow. I asked to follow the breathing. First step, Anapanasati Dhyan. Yeah? Follow your breathing. So you cannot follow the breathing you took yesterday. Neither you can follow the breathing you are going to take tomorrow. So when you follow your breathing, your mind automatically comes to the present moment. So when you keep on practicing, then that means mind is already in the present moment, and then open up the channel, that is the truth, the now moment, open the channel to the meditational experience and even higher dimension, communication with the soul. All these things are possible to happen. But if your mind is not present, it is still chattering, going in the past memory or future worry, it will not. Yeah? So that is why we practice it, to bring the mind to the present moment so that the bridge opens up. Many, in fact, most of the people, they never experience anything spiritual in their lifetime. They have not have any kind of communication, any connection, or any kind of higher experiences, primarily because they can never bring their mind to the present moment. It is such a rarity, such a common, easy thing, simple thing, not easy, simple thing, but it is a rarity. People live life after life without even stopping their thought mind for a few seconds so that they can have that kind of experience. It is when we are called seekers, many seekers, because I get feedback from many who are following the spiritual path, many, they didn't have any spiritual experiences. What is the reason? They started thinking, what's wrong with me? Am I doing things rightly? Or it's none of them. Simple thing is, you cannot silent your mind. That's why you didn't. So just work on more intensely on your, closing the thought mind, or coming to, when it is zero thought comes, it will open up automatically. Like you are running behind here and there, but you are not crossing the bridge. And no matter how many times you run here and there, unless until you just be in front of the bridge, you cannot cross the bridge. Yeah, that is what we finally practice in the gap awareness. Yeah? Going to the other dimension, the breathing, the turning point, and all those things, those are there. But if you miss that point, you will never be in the other dimension, because you will always miss that bridge. Yeah, it will never happen. Yeah? So that is why it is important to, when you go into the present moment, and we that with opportunity to cross that bridge, then it opens up some domain which is beyond time, because we go into the consciousness level. As I mentioned, that the fifth dimension is a consciousness. That is where you have to go by the awareness. Your awareness grown up to such a level where you can aware of your consciousness. That is self-awareness. That is enlightenment. Okay. This own starts with the now moment, the bridge, vast area out there, beyond the bridge. So you never been crossed the bridge. So that's why you miss that whole domain of that, the spiritual domain of those kind of experiences. And that is what we learn. I'm not saying that you are somewhere below it, and that is called crossing the bridge. We call it a waking up, like awareness, like you are in the darkness of ignorance and just wake up. The people on this side of the bridge, the seekers, so only difference between them and the enlightened one, Buddhas, yes, they have just crossed the bridge. They managed to make their mind silent, be in the now moment, and cross the bridge. And then they can get all those kind of experiences. So here they're still finding the bridge, and that's why it is called the seeker. So that can be guided, and it can happen that to go to the other side, and things can happen. Okay, now it is almost the first session will be over. Let me save this attendees. So today we touched 40 attendees. Just give me a minute. I can save the attendees. I just normally take some screenshot of the attendees and save it in my folder just for the record purposes. All right, we save it sometime. I hope that this part is understood. So that is why the now is the only truth, because that opens up the path towards the truth. The universal knowledge are accessible, Brahmagyan, all those things are accessible. Our soul, which is our inner guru, all are accessible through now point. That is the bridge we need to cross. And if we don't cross the bridge, don't bring our mind to that level, we will never experience that. So if some of you are thinking why you are not having experiences, I get this is a very common question I get. Yeah. Fundamentally is you have to work on your mind, just quieten the mind. It will come automatically. You need not to do anything. You need not to import the experience. You have to just cross the bridge. Okay, and that happens to the now moment. So, all right, I think let us almost a minute to left. So I will just conclude this. On the other side, we'll start, discussing about more about the time and what is the implications in our life, and further, on the tips on this time. So see you all there into the next hub. I will post the next link into this group itself. Okay. So all of you, please join back. All right, welcome back. So maybe we have more people to join, about 10 more. But anyway, we'll start. Yeah. Okay, we'll start our session. Let others join slowly. That's fine. Okay, now let us come to a little bit of different understanding of the time. So I think origin, purpose, and what is spiritual dimensions and all, it is understood. Now let us come to that something we call time management. Okay, so time management, we have 24 hours in a day, and most of us, we didn't get time from whatever we intended to do. So 24 hours become less. We got so busy. And in fact, in our so-called, we give it a name of a lifestyle. Our lifestyle is so busy that we cannot put anything new there. We are always occupied, always busy. And that's why they come something, the name has come from the time management. So that is how you can use your time to your favor. Now I'm talking the practical, in general reality. So, and whatever we can deliver within the given frame of time, and that determines our efficiency, our work efficiency. If we can deliver something within the time allocated for that, then we are efficient. If we cannot, we are non-efficient. Yeah. In our work or your daily life and all, that's how it matters. Everything we go with that idea of efficiency. If somebody is efficient, means they can deliver in the shortest possible time. Somebody is not efficient, means they take a long time to do the same job. So we in our lives, those are heavily into this, that what we see as our the time, how it is impacted our life. It is efficiency, non-efficiency, that part comes into the play. Efficient part is we like the efficiency and that is what been rewarded, but somebody cannot do this job, and also the level of that ranking or evaluation that comes down if they cannot provide it in time. Also, when we develop this time of culture, that is everything we need fast. We need success faster. We need to accumulate wealth faster. We have to get property faster and do everything fast. And go to certain level that we got something called instant gratification. Like we need now, and so a lot of things. This culture developed a lot of business thing, like delivering pizza within half an hour or delivering something to your doorstep, just so that you are whatever you're looking for, that it at this kind of time it can take away your time, and so that you can get it in as early as possible. You can order online order, it comes to the next morning to your doorstep and things like that. Which slowly that culturally we were going there. We don't want to wait. We just want everything right now. Okay. So that developed a culture, and it has got so much, particularly this lifestyle had become a mad rush for everything. We need everything now, so more, and now when all these kind of things happened and we are going into that. Spiritually speaking, this particular aspect of going into the life just and like an extrapolation of our ego. So ego wants to get satisfied, and the materialistic things to more and faster is the parameter that ego satisfies itself. Anything takes time. In the point of view of our ego, we failed it. Like if something I don't get it now, I will get it after 2-3 years, then it doesn't make sense. Like suppose you are waiting for a promotion, so you want it now. So if you say you will get it after 5 years or 10 years, that is as if you didn't get it, it's failed. So in that way, time affects our this practical life and reality. And this is the time has been heavily manipulated by our ego. That's why the ego wants everything now. Now is not the spiritual now. It means as early as possible for the self-gratification. Then in the process, what is happening is we get more and more in the shorter time, so that you get more time to have it. And we changed our psychologically, we're accustomed to getting it. We taken for granted that we'll get it into this, whatever I order, I need to get it by tomorrow. Somebody will come and deliver in my house. And this kind of attitude has been developed. So anything is got delayed that we think we failed. And it has got its own repercussions. It has got its own frustration, and people got angry. People got this. So their psychological effects are coming with it. So getting quicker, faster, statistically, it is not possible that you always win, always you get fast. So there will be 50-50 chance of getting it and not getting it, whatever you want. And as our demand has increased because of this time faster, we need everything, these things, and that reflected everywhere. Our relationships, and we got, our withstand power, like the power to acceptance has gone low because of this ego. Minor things, people start fighting with each other, and even this era, even the relationship, like a marriage and all, so many broken marriages are happening because of, we cannot tolerate that, because this time, the expectation, they want everything fast and it doesn't match with each other's expectation, and the dropping out has been very, very high. It's same with these jobs also. We get frustrated with any job, we change the job and things like that. And even when we study something, we keep going from this college to that college, and all this. Means there is some time element, some restlessness has been built in, and that has been built in as a modernization, as a culture, and all those things. But it is after this effect is it is taking toll on our psyche, and that's why we got so many mental patients, happening almost every house. There are some cases because of that they cannot cope up with this kind of thing, the fastness of the life and the demands, or maybe professional or whatever, the study or the external world they perceive. It is not the truth, by the way. So those who can go this into it, they goes with this and they get maximum thrashing of the whole system. Only who are aware, they can get out of this wave. So they need not to, do this mad rush on all those things. Because getting something in life doesn't happen because of these external circumstances we normally think. It happens if it is there in your soul's plan. So it is coming from somewhere else. It is not into this. Even the earning or even the wealth accumulation and things like that. So you need to be tuned into the abundance consciousness. Then only it will come to you. It is also happen at the soul level. You didn't choose it to happen in this, wealth. You didn't choose, because you need to have certain experience in life. So no matter what you do, that wealth, but after looking at others, it will not come to you. Even if you come, you will lose it, and you will go with these kind of consequences. Because it has to be governed at the plan level to make it happen. Otherwise, it will not happen. That's why we are giving so much. We see each other who so and so is getting it, that model of car, that kind of bigger flat or bigger house, or or their children going to that university, my child going to this, all those kind of things. Bigger, larger, bigger. This is just the ego play, and that makes your life ultimately miserable. So you are not living a life. You are living a certain kind of expectation of illusion of your own making, and it can be collective. To be fair, it is a collective psyche. It is a society, the way it is being handled this way, and it is there is no such thing called we are having it one day. They want everything in day one. The changing between one day to day one, they make all the differences into their life. You cannot have, as a principle, you cannot have everything in day one. You have to work for it. So nobody wants to spend time in working for it and building it up and all those, then get it. So they want it everything instantly. As I said, that's called instant gratification, and that is a toll they, having, as we are a human being, we are not supposed to, undergo this kind of unnecessarily pressures. So one day I was listening to some interview of Kapil Dev. There was a cricketer. So he was telling that even the small children going to the school, they are saying, my life is stressful. I'm under tension. So he was telling the child going to the school, they are having tension into their lives. What we have done to our society. So, okay, somebody is meeting some kind of business target, sales target to meet, or deliver some consignment, concluding some project or whatever it is. They may be stressful finally to deliver it within time. Even the children also, they are having some tension or stressful in just studying. So anyway, so this is this cultural change. We are basically trying to, in the name of getting maximum out of this time or achieve the top and things like that, we are fundamentally ruining it. And that is why there are so much of this, the mental, I was telling that impacted people are there, and then they are looking for the way forward, because forget about achieving whatever they want. It is going other way around, it's falling from that. And they don't know how to manage that fall. it is so much shameful to talk about it and project it into the society. Some people even hiding it and in the name of something that it is assuming it is not true. Thing doesn't go without, if you claim to be, it is not there, it is there. So in the in that form they are taking up the mask, like you are pretending that I don't have any pain. And that leads to another thing, falsification of your own being. It touched you. Some people, they lost themselves into the fake image they are putting it into the society, and that is painful. Because ultimately you are answerable to yourself. And sometimes some hard thing happens in the external world, and that falls off, and you feel helpless and vulnerable and whatnot. And sometimes you get frustrated, go into the spiral down, and the poor me syndrome has been developed, and all those things. These are the consequences of this kind of fast moving, this pace of life, which is completely illogical, and it is means it is not really worth it. So whatever you get it, end of it, whatever you lose in the bargain, it is not overall it is not a good bargain of life. So there comes the spirituality. That a lot of this mass awakening is happening because of that, because they have seen the dark side of that life. They've seen that the way it has been dealt, the no value of the life and the respect and things like that. And suppose some big corporations, they're firing people in thousands. It is not because of some performance issue and all this, something like that. What will happen to their life? Nobody bothers them. This lack of care and lack of these things has got a major impact. And that is why most of those things become hollow. People are committed. People are doing with a dedication and things like that, because they know maybe it will happen to me also. If something happened to someone, they try to protect and try to please that whatever environment they are in, and try to just pass some time. But they are not giving their best. So because their giving their best has no value, because decisions when took to fire you, it has been taken from other parameters, not because of your performance or dedication. So anyway, that is another big topic. I will not go there. But that is the culture we have developed, and that is the repercussions. When something happens so illogical, so cruel, so inhuman, then we come back and realize what we are doing here. I am just giving my life for these jobs which doesn't care for me. So who cares? Then ultimately we go back and come to this level of understanding. That's why it is important to understand. Then our time is limited. That is lifetime. We explained in the first half. So in the limited time, if we keep on, serving, giving, and pleasing bosses and meeting targets and meetings and things like that, one day that time will be over, and you are gone with all those kind of frustrations and things like that. Yeah. So this is what we are awakening to, some level of understanding, where the managing time is not in the external, it is internal. How we enjoy time. So there the new faculty opens up, that how to utilize time, how to find my own thing. Like everything we do ultimately for our own happiness. Yeah. I think last weekend, Indranilda took the interview. So that was a topic, our happiness. So we explored deep into it, why we become unhappy for so long and all those things. That it is something else. No? So we got research, we got find it out, and it is not about getting more and getting a raise in the salary or promotion and having a bigger house. There is no end to it. You keep on adding something. Yeah. So those are not the way. We got misled with all those things in the name of culture and things like that. Society, we got somewhere else. When we come back, and then if we really wanted to be happy and enjoy time, if we explore externally, we'll finally landed up, get hammered somewhere and come back home. Yeah. Some part of the life. Sometime it can go fine, but not all the time. Yeah. So in that case, when we reassess our life, we come to something which is called the enjoying the journey. There is no such thing. Expectation of the result ruins our life. We come to this realization much, much later stage in our life. By the time maybe a lot of things have already gone, we could have corrected our course of action long time back. Expectation is the main cause of our unhappiness. So in our whatever we do, if we can drop the expectation, then we can go towards happiness. Because I give a formula. No? Happiness is inversely proportional, 1 upon expectation. So if expectation more high, happiness goes down. If the expectation goes low, then happiness go high. What the masters do, spiritual masters, this expectation, they go towards zero almost. So 1 divided by 0, almost infinite. Their happiness becomes infinite. And that is the called Sachidananda state. Sadachit Anand, the joy of getting connected. Joy comes from within. Because their expectation from the external world is almost zero. Okay. In Bhagavad Gita also, they're teaching, they said, the ma phaleshu kadachana. Don't expect the results. Why? We don't need results? Definitely we do. Only expectation need to cut. Because that is the cause of your unhappiness. That is a formula. That's what I normally show. A simple formula. Happiness is inversely proportional. Proportional sign, 1 upon expectation. Yeah. So if we work on our expectation, then happiness will automatically come. You don't have to run behind happiness, which we normally do. So then our effort, if we give it in this aspect, then quality of our life will change. So when we study those research I was talking about the happiness, let us do some little bit more research on something else. Regarding time, today's topic is time. So let us, not the happiness, let us talk about the time. So which time we enjoy and which time we don't enjoy. Okay. Or is it possible that sometimes we feel the time is too long, and sometimes we are enjoying time and time goes very fast. So if a time aspect point of view, time and happiness combination, how it works. Okay. Let us study that. Suppose somebody came, say I'll pick you up from so and so place. I'm suppose waiting in a bus stand or maybe some other place. One of my friend will say, I will come and pick you up at 5 p.m. So I'm waiting. At 5 p.m. I'm waiting, keep on waiting. 5:30, 6. And a lot of people coming, going. My friend so I assume there is no phone call or something. This, to stand there and waiting for just that pickup, is terrible. You feel, even though maybe it is 1 hour waiting, but you feel like you're waiting for lifetimes. Okay. When it will come, you never know. There is no communication, nothing. And same thing happens maybe in the flight. We did face this on 19th of July, where I was just stuck into the Pune airport. There is no guarantee when time will come. So keep on waiting, without knowing when it will come at all, it will come or not and all. This is painful. Yeah. Even for a few minutes of waiting, it feels like hours. Because of that, we don't know when it is, this uncertainty and all those kind of things make it look longer. So our experience point of view, we hate waiting. Okay, we don't like waiting because it looks very, very longer. So suppose you are waiting, as I said, in the bus stand and standing for 1 hour, it is waiting for some pickup, it will look terrible. But same time, so when you spend with the near and dear ones, say suppose lovers, yeah, they are maybe sitting in the park bench. They are not enjoying food and talking too much, very big things. They are just staying together. They're enjoying their company. When the time goes, they don't even realize. Maybe 3 hours, 4 hours goes without realizing, looks few minutes. No, it happens, right? So you know what I am talking about, what you like to do. Then in that case, times that goes very fast. What you don't like to do, time slows down to you. as an experience. Not clock time I'm talking here. I'm talking the perception of time, how you experience time. This is the outcome of one research. Okay. So if we are waiting or something we dislike, we are into that, time increases. It longs 1 minute looks like a 2 hours. Few minutes looks like 2 hours. But if you're enjoying it, few hours looks like few minutes, right? So let us use this for our changing the way we so-called manage life. Time management, let us not go to the clock time. Let us come here what we enjoy. That's why the concept of quality time has come. If you enhance the quality of the time, if you are enjoying the time, then that kind of time, you will actually, you will not know how much you spend a lot of time. If you project it beyond that, this project beyond your whole lifetime, if you make yourself enjoying every moment, then your life will be full of joy. In that case, the time in this case will go, means as you are enjoying, so you are not experiencing any delay or something in your life. So every moment you are enjoying, so you go basically win over the time. The time doesn't control you in that sense because you're enjoying the every moment, no matter what it is. Yeah? That is the spiritual state. When they enjoy every moment, those kinds of the delay and all those things stops, and that reflects everywhere in your life. Your lifespan increases, your happiness index increases, your disease doesn't come to you much easily because you are in the level of the joy. So what fundamentally it does, it changes your vibration. It's all about vibration. You feel there is a lot of delay and you feel unhappy, then it reduces the vibration. I'm just giving those research outcome. Yeah. Why waiting? It gives so much boring and painful experience because it lowers your vibration. Vibration means cycles per second, hertz, frequency. Yeah. So if your vibration is low, the same amount of the vibration will take longer time. And when you are a joyful state, your vibration is high, so that you are enjoying the time so that you can live much, like a very short time, you can live longer, live to the fullest. Yeah. So that is a frequency with understanding. That's why when we practice spirituality, we raise our vibration. It's actually by product of our sadhana. Sadhana means spiritual practice. So if we raise our vibration, then automatically that whatever, and you connect it to that inner joy. So every moment is filled with that. And then it looks like the time goes very fast because you are enjoying it. And it is actually the vibration is high. So whatever in, 1 hour clock time, you can have a huge amount of joyful experience. But in the lower vibration, you can frustrated, boring, and dull feeling will come into the same 1 hour. So in this quality, it goes into when you come to the path of spirituality, you change the quality. You change your quality of life, and you're in that sense, you enhance your lifetimes. Yeah, because all of us, we wanted to be happy, So in the happiness, if the expectation goes zero and you enhance your vibration, then what will happen is you can feel many things into your life which otherwise you could not, because it doesn't fit in. You are always busy. Drop out from the business, change the quality, change the vibration. Then what will do in the higher vibration, it will give you mental clarity and focus. What normal job I'm saying you job which is to take 2 hours, now it will take half an hour because every job will have certain amount of decision making in between. Some confusion will go, decision will be clear, black and white. You exactly know what you are supposed to do. There's a mental clarity. Earlier it was you were confused. We call it brain fog. Fog will get away with if you vibrate high, even absolute clarity. And then you know exactly know you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that. When you go to office, maybe within half an hour time, the day's job is over, what you are supposed to deliver, because you are very clear what you are supposed to do. And that will enhance your efficiency, and the whatever the external reward will come with it. Okay. So this is the quality of life you change. You come to the level just by changing this, the quality time, the vibrations and things like that, because of your clarity, because of your connection. You are not depending and begging of people to make you happy. Yeah. That will go. You become so much connected, so much overflowing with that from your within. Not only your personal time, you have the able to give time to others. You have to give them guidance, giving them assistance, and help them to lead, make their life better. From where this time will come? If you are awfully busy, okay. So then it makes your life meaningful. You will get a purpose of life, not how much money you earn. The meaning of life, the purpose of life will be the ultimate reward. Because your impact of you, whatever you're doing, whatever you're saying, will affect thousands of people's life. Start with a small one. My target is, originally I told you, if I change one person's life, who is not related to me, and unconditionally, not that I make a business deal with somebody, unconditionally, someone who is not my family member, not in any relationship in the professionally or family wise, otherwise, if I can change one such people life, I will feel the purpose of my life is served. You start with that. But slowly, you come to the level when these thousands of life you can change. That will be your legacy. That will be thing. It will be truly change. It is not like a claiming or something. It's not a fan following. It is actually changing internally. Whether these other people they appreciate, don't appreciate, it's up to them. It's okay. But that changes happen. Somebody was suffering from illness, they get healed. Somebody was looking in the darkness and banging their head. They just got the bridge, to cross to the higher dimension. They found it. After so many attempts, so many lifetimes, or so many, years of this lifetime. Anyway, those are the things will give you ultimate the parameter. Then whatever clock time you live, it doesn't matter. You go beyond time. Because you are living in something which is having meaningful, purposeful, and it is impacting the people's lives. It is not yours, because your time is limited, but the people's life is not limited. You have got a lot of options and opportunity to open and expand. That is why if you see the 4 learnings of the 4 principles we give to that in our WeAreOne group. So the last 2, what I'm talking about, it's the last. Let me just open that and see. That just reminded me about that principle. Okay, I'm just the photo. I'm not getting it. Just let me explain. There are 2 parts of it. One is that. Okay, let me repeat all 4. Protect physically. I'm not explaining that today. Protect physically, earn enjoyingly. Means whatever your income, if you enjoy whatever you do, you will earn more. That exactly the principle I told you earlier. If you enjoy doing something, then you lose the sense of time, and that is your passion. And if that is the work you do for your living, then that is a fantastic combination. You are enjoying while doing it, and at the same time you're earning it. So find out that thing which you are passionate about, and that will bring you the financial abundance. Because if that is your profession, then it will bring that whatever wealth you need. So earn enjoyingly. You enjoy doing. But most of us, we select some job what we don't enjoy, because they pay more, but we don't like it. Somehow we are managing the jobs and all those things. Our performance also become like that because we are not connected to it. Then it is live lovingly. So here what comes, as I am giving that example of the two lovers when they are sitting on a park bench or maybe enjoying a movie or something like that, where the time passes, you never know. If you are loving your life, you are in love with your life. You are in a loving relationship with your higher self that is with you all the time. Yeah. Then the quality of your life changes. You live lovingly. You need not to snatch away things from here and there and from others. You just connected to your higher self, and that love, you express that. And that expression through you, and you, then the quality of your time changes because you are in love. Yeah. So you don't face that constraint of time. You can spend hours and hours and hours without even feeling bored. So this is the kind of life it will happen if you live lovingly. And then the next part is you will be so much overflowing with love, you will be able to share among others. And this love, unconditional love, pure love, it is very, say the addictive is not the right word, influencing. What is the type of disease called? If you come in contact and you get the disease, infectious. Okay, it infected.
Yes.
Yeah. So others who come into the field, they get little bit. They also get infected. They feel that joy within and all those things, and that's how then many people, they can have that kind of joy, and that's how it expands. This is what is called the live lovingly. You cannot just give lecture to other people to feel love. It's not possible. Unless you are living that in pure love, you are rooted into the love, you cannot have that which can impact others. They get it. You need not to teach them how to get it. You come into that state, others will automatically get it. That is one of the masterly secret I'm sharing here. When you go to a gathering, don't try to correct each and everybody. It's not possible. You come to that state. You come to that, whether you want to highly loving state, this state, you come first. You want people to meditate, you come to meditative state first. People, by induction, they will get it. The joy and what you are talking, if you feel and you just be, people will be automatically getting that. You need not to do it. You need not to do anything, share it and ration it and to whom I'll give, to whom, no need. You just express yourself. People will get it. Yeah. Anyway, that's called live lovingly. So then what comes is that you are come to the state where you're fully connected with the purity and the love that oozes out from you. Your being. It changes everything, changes energy field, your aura and all those kind of things, everything. Yeah. And the last point was that spread spiritually. Means all of us, we have some, innate by nature, we want to expand. So expansion in the physical reality is limited. That's why you call it private limited, always. Even wealth, you cannot have unlimited wealth in this world. You cannot have unlimited land in this world. You cannot have the 100% pure relationship in this world. Not possible. Whatever like your inner urge, express that spiritually. If you are in your inner urge to have some more land, more space, don't do it in 3-dimensional area. Do it in other dimension where there is no limit. Even it is said that each one of us can create an universe within us in the spiritual domain. There is no limitation. You can have any. You can have all planets and galaxies within you. It's all possible. I'm not giving like a talking point. I'm just saying that it is all possible. You can have your own universe, and why not? Okay, you can. You have all the power and potential. Unleash that. Get into that domain. So whatever that expansion and all those things, you do it internally. There is no limitation there. Then there is no tax. There is no tax, there is no rules, there is no regulations there. Only you have to follow the path of purity, and walk lovingly. It's an infinite thing. Yeah. See, there are many, many things, many spiritual practices when you can have like one, like some crystal garden of purity, or you can create your own garden when you feel so something happened in the external world, you are feeling uneasy. You go internally, go to that garden and sit there in the peaceful, blissful state. You enjoy the garden and come out if you want. You can create the garden, this kind of garden. It can have mountains, it can have rivers, it can have butterflies and flowers and what not. Okay, all you can create within you. All possible. I'm not talking about visualization and imagination. I'm saying you are creating with your own creative power within. There is no limit. There is no space limitation. There is no, as I said, tax and all these things. Anyway, so those are the little different thing. But now we are talking here about this time. So when you come to that, you got to the expansion, you touch many, many people's lives. Yeah. Their life changes automatically. You need not to do anything. You need not to tell them you do this, do that, and this is your routine. And then no, you just get them come out of that illusion of time and bring them to place where it is timeless. This is living in the moment, now moment, all the time. Because that is the only truth. And your operating principle is pure love. And you are rooted into the now moment. That is called, and that you are doing all the time. All the time you are connected. All the time you are in a pure love base. All the time you are in expansion. You are into that. That is called living in an eternal now. Every time in the clock is now, now, and now. Because that is only truth. You are living that truth. You don't bother about the future. It will happen. You know that you connected to some creators, that creative power. You are the co-creator of your reality. You are the creator of your future. You create that. As I said, that you have the enough space and all the power of two things. Yeah? Power of love and light of awareness and power of love. You can create anything. All these are possible. Only thing you are experiencing it. You are just like we travel on holidays. No, you go your inner world and be there into that. And sometimes that can be interacted with many other things, the higher divine entities and all those things. You enjoy the time and come. It's all happened during your meditation. Okay. So you can go there and you can enjoy and come back rejuvenated. There's no, it's absolutely fine. So those are the things that you keep on expanding. So many people's life will touch. So you will basically impact it to the humanity. That is your contribution to the humanity. So not only you are able to change your life and your these things. This is the now moment. If everybody has been built into it, then it becomes replicated. That's why all of you can create your own universe, and that is of purity with love and awareness. Yeah, internally, and that is why it is not. You need not to depend on only one that physical universe here. Yeah? That also we cannot explore fully. Physical universe is only one, but all of you can create your own universe, and that is why it is called multiverse. Yeah? You can create. You are the creator. You are the co-creator. Co-creator with the original creator, the universal consciousness. So you are the soul consciousness you can create. You have all the power to create it. But all the expansion, all the creation, all those things, do it into that space which is infinite, not the limited space. So that is the fundamentally ultimately living in the eternal now is called. The living moment by moment. Don't allow mind play to past and future business. Just be rooted all the time with operating from love and live your life which is timeless. Okay, that is beyond time. So with this, I will conclude today's learning session. If you have any question, you are welcome to ask me.
Guruji.
Okay, Hariom, I'll just come to you. Sharmishta, go ahead with your question.
Uh, I know you always say that with our practices, when we vibrate at a higher frequency, we can be always in a joyous state. Um, while that is very true, that we also, don't you think we also need to be in a space which aligns with our personality? Because in my own life, I have seen two different states where my mind is disturbed continuously by, the external world, where people are doing things, where rushing this and that, and versus when I'm in a state where it's calm and quiet, and no rush, which is more aligned to my own personality. So which one is more preferable, that I can be in that chaos state and keep doing my practices to be in that joyous state all the time and struggle with it, or do both, be in the state where which aligns with my own personality and also do the practices?
Okay, yeah, it's a good question. Okay, there are two parts in it. Let me give you this understanding. One is something about your life with others, and then we talk about your life, and it is like a like you are enjoying a joyful life state. Yeah, that is two different things. Yeah? It is not directly connected. Why I'm saying that? Because external events always will be something which is adverse. Only character will change. Okay, I'm just telling you, you cannot change the external world completely, because it is following a certain principle which is designed in that way. In other words, it is, you can say that our external life is like a living in a mud. And what we need to do here, we need not to change the mud. We need to be lotus. Jal Kamal Vat Jivan means in the mud. It is born in the mud, live in the mud, but even when it blooms, not even a drop of water can touch its petals. It drops off. That is called Jal Kamal Vat Jivan. So it is not about changing the environment. This lotus is not demanding change this mud situation, put me into flower vase in a five-star hotel. It is not asking that. If it does, it will die there. It will live in the same place where it is take birth, and it will not getting touched by the mud. That is the key. Changing the situation is not the key. Key is go to the level where nothing can touch you. That is the Jal Kamal Vat Jivan. That is the first part of your question. Second part is about others. We are talking here, we just through the all analysis and research, and we found out this joy or the happiness is the inner state. It has nothing to do from outside. A small child get very happy with a lollipop, but maybe in the grown-up adult, even that they got a car in a gift, they are not happy. Yeah, look like that. See, it is not about the what you are getting that makes you happy. It is your inner state which makes you happy or unhappy. Yeah. So better not to work from that outside, work in the inside. So far as others are getting concerned, in my inner world, nobody can enter without my permission, or if I don't allow them to go inside me. So, in other words, and state of mind, which is a happiness, that means somebody is entering into my mind and spoiling it something, or creating some negativity. That's why I become unhappy. So, if I learn the technique how I not to allow them to in, don't allow them to the key to get into that your inner space. That can be controlled, but physically outside people are controlling, not possible. All these things, events happen in our life, which is adverse mostly. They are leading us to this. This is the message they wanted to give. The in search of your happiness, whatever be it is, your job, relationship, or whatever. In the search of happiness, you bang your head on the different type of doors, and ultimately you get dissatisfied. This is the time to take a U-turn and go inward. It is not there. It is not out there. It is not without. It is within. Okay. The moment we take U-turn, then we learn further things to change our internal environment. The whole life changes. Not only you need help. You actually in a position to come to your own purity and the joyful state, and that state you can even distribute hundred thousands people or others. Still, it will be having infinite flow coming to you. Okay, it is all about the changing the approach and understanding about this kind of external life. External, it is nothing is there. First principle of the four principle I was talking. First principle: protect physically. The only thing what you need to do is protect yourself physically. You should not, so that people cannot harm you. That's all you need to take care. But reward, award, and happiness and joy and whatever, all internal. You cannot get it from outside world. That is that many millions of people tried to get it. Yeah. Even though you are the richest person in the world, you have all these things, still you may not be happy. Yeah, may not be joyful your life. So that is the truth. That is the reality. So this is, if you go with that, then you will get the key to unlock. You will get the bridge to cross over, and then you get to the domain of the permanent joy. You will be there, and then nothing else will matter. Then things will not replace physically, but it will not matter to you anymore. And that is the way of holistic living or joyful living. Okay, shall we start?
Okay, so the one quick question. So the period that you were in complete silence, if you were in a chaotic situation where too many people talking around you, fighting this, that, you would still be able to be in your silence?
Oh, of course, yes, because it doesn't depend on others. It is my silence, not theirs. Okay. In fact, I'll tell you other way around. In those particular time period, as you asked this question, in fact, I used to go sit in the most chaotic places to meditate. Okay. Like in middle of a market or some, entry point of a mall, and there is some bench, of course, or some, maybe some place which is maybe railway station or, flight, where the people enter and go out and all those kind of things, dropping people and all these things. There I used to go and meditate there. Sometimes even open eyes. Means I don't recognize visually who is coming and all those things, but it's full of awareness, attention I'm giving. In fact, all those chaoses, they enhance my multi-point awareness. Most chaotic, suppose in a marketplace or in a mall, you are sitting, thousands of people are talking, not few members in your family. Thousands talking different thing, or you are listening to all of them. It enhances your awareness heavily. Okay.
Okay.
So being that you enjoy whatever it is life is offering. It's okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Now, okay, Hariom. Dipanita, I'll come to you after Hariom. Yeah. I see your hand raised. Yeah.
Pranam, Guruji.
Pranam, Hariom.
Guruji, one clarification. Because when we are in 3D, whatever is happening, it is because of consciousness only. Unless there is consciousness, nothing will happen. And when you are saying that we are moving to 5D, then we are in consciousness. Now, what is the difference?
Yeah.
Because as I understand, 3D is because consciousness working in a time-space coordinate.
Okay. No, that's also a very good question. Okay. Consciousness, whatever I mentioned here, that is about the source or expanded awareness. The reality, physical reality, you can say it is a contracted version of consciousness.
Okay.
It has to drop a few things to come to this level. Okay. So this is a contracted version of it, or solidified version of it, or gross version of it.
Okay.
Both are consciousness. Right. You are right. Yeah. But this is the constricted version of that consciousness.
Right.
So if we are too much involved into this, we'll not feel anything which is expanded.
Correct.
Means if we, we wanted to run, if we put ourselves in a 12 foot by 10 foot room, I cannot run. I try to run, but every time maybe going here and there, suppose I wanted to swim. So if my swimming pool length is 25 meter, I cannot have a full, enjoy swimming like a miles I'm swimming. Maybe I will go to the river for that. Okay. So this is also water, that is also water. But makes the difference is it is a contracted version of the same thing, and that is expanded version of that. So in that case, it will be my capacity, how much I can swim. That matters. But here in the walls or the swimming pool size matters here. So my experience is very, very limited. Okay, so both are consciousness, but we choose the which one we want as our field of experience. And that is where that unlimitedness, it gives you our ultimate the enjoyment or that ultimate joy, not this one. So this consciousness, contracted version of it will not allow me to experience the full extent my own consciousness can go.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay. Okay. God bless you. Dipanita, go ahead with your question.
Pranam Rajdeepankar. I had a question about the journey to basically starting from seeking to calm the mind and be in the present moment and crossing the bridge to connect with your soul consciousness. Yeah. This journey is the desire to walk this path or reach the kind of pinnacle or peak. Is this considered attachment?
Mm-hmm. And no, very good question, by the way. I see, this is only one desire. It is not taken by our ego. Only desire to get enlightened. What you are talking is to get enlightened, spiritually enlightened, awareness and that stuff, right? In the permanent joy.
Yep.
So all of life is full of desires, and most of the desires taken by our mind, or we call it ego. Okay. Only exception of one, to get enlightened, to get connected with our soul consciousness. This is the only desire our mind or, it does not take. Why we say that they don't take? Because when that connection happens, our ego has to die before that happens. We call annihilation of our ego. Ego means I-ness, me-ness, the limitedness. It has to go so that we can connect to the infinite version of ourselves. In the process, get enlightened or that the spiritual connection or that, in the process, at certain level, the ego has to die. It will not affect you anymore. Then only that opens up. So, ego cannot desire its own death. That's why that is the only exception to get enlightened. It does not come unto our normal desires. So, to answer your question, this is the exception, and this is the only thing our ego or the mind it doesn't take. And even if you give, as you mentioned, as an attachment, if you wanted to attach with your higher self or the soul consciousness, this attachment is an attachment of purity. We call it going back to our own original home, like soul's home. So that is not an attachment. It is like a returning back to home. Rest of the things are attachment, which will get dropped off at one point of time or other. So that's why it is called attachment. This is not attachment, it is a liberation. Okay, but we are going there. So you are attached or you are wanted to have that path. That's why I didn't use the word attachment, I used the word desire. Your desire to go to that level is the only desire what your mind does not take. It comes from within, inner call, inner voice. Okay, that's what, when it comes, then we start walking that path, and it ultimately takes us to the liberation. It's clear, Dipanita?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I think now it's almost time now, so we will do the Shanti part and then conclude our session. All right. Oh.